Dillon Danis boarded a plane. Plane took off for England. He exited the plane. I'm just sharing it where we're at. Boots on the ground. If a fighter's ever not going to do a fight, I know that that's an overlap of this whole thing. I know those discussions are happening. I think I even started some of them with the lawsuits and whatnot. Hey, I don't think Dillon should do the fight. That's got to be worked in here, and that's all got to go away. Whatever, it's behind us. It would appear. And travel day is a really big day, right? Whoever's planning to blink doesn't get on a plane. You don't blink when you're in England at the same hotel. It's just not the way it's done. And the media's all around. So I think that that's very encouraging. And I mean, imagine if you were the main event of that card. I don't know who the main event of that card is. I just know that this is in a co-main spot. It got put in a co-main spot largely because, in my belief, my estimation, is Dillon going to do it? There's a $100,000 clause put into the contract. If Dillon pulls out and he can't pass a doctor's test of our choosing, it's $100,000. And we've got Mike Perry. And Mike Perry trolled us, by the way. That's not really a Perry move. Perry went on Twitter last week, made a quick video of himself with his iPhone. And he said, well, guys, it's official. I'm in. And I was even hearing from ESPN, hey, Dillon's out. Go to Dillon. Find out if this is true. Perry says that he's fighting. It's like, Perry didn't say he was fighting. Perry's exact words was, hey, guys, it's official. I'm in. He mysteriously and conveniently went out of his way to not say in to what. It was very obviously it was a troll job. You just don't get a lot of troll jobs from Mike Perry. Like, everybody needs to come out and find some kind of a gimmick or shtick to try to bring people over to them, to try to win people from the audience over. Except Mike Perry. He does not need any kind of help. He is a character that is wildly interesting. I will never forget how many times I stopped what I was doing to watch an Instagram video of Mike Perry stopping in traffic to save a turtle. I don't even think any words were spoken, but it was awesome. Like, Perry just has it. So seeing Perry attempt to troll, I'm fine with it. But I will admit that I was a little bit surprised, and I'm pretty confident in telling you guys it's going to be Dillon versus Logan, and thank goodness, and whoever the main event is, I would trust it's like an actual boxing match. Influencers have been doing a very good job, but I don't know that influencers to this magnitude could be trusted. So you put on an influencer fight, and then you have an actual boxing match. But whoever that main event is should be so incredibly grateful to Dillon. Like, actual thank yous. Main events, not standardly, but more common than not, do get participation. They do get back in, they get their guarantee up front, which is all the risk to the promoter. Then if there is rewards that you would think would go to the guy that took the risk, in this business, it's not always that way. You then got to cut in these other guys. And I'm just sharing with you, someone somewhere I trust knows who the main event is. Somebody has heard. But the only piece of this card that I've heard, I know it's in England because of this fight. And I know it's Logan and Dillon. And I know their history. And I know all of the interesting parts. I haven't seen anybody put out training footage of these guys. Yeah, you get a still photo here and there. I understand that. But not like a countdown style organized show. Not an organized sports show where you then bring in the experts like Teddy Atlas and you start talking about, well, you got to get your lead leg, you got to step outside. The guy comes in and says, you got to go to the body, you got to pivot off to the right immediately. I haven't heard any of the X's and O's. I know more often than not, particularly as it pertains to the Paul brothers, they do a great job of making the rounds less and shortening the time. 8 2-minute rounds, for example. But I don't know in this fight. It's never come up. Nobody has ever discussed this fight from an X's and O's standpoint. It's just the drama between the two, which is great. It's the only reason you want to see two people fight in the first place. I mean, boxing is so painfully boring. Not only do you put the pillows on their hands, you can only jab, cross, hook, uppercut. There's not another move. And you can only do that to his head, chest, and body. It's not an overly complicated thing. I'm just sharing with you the worst part of the boxing match is the boxing. And in this case, it's a huge fight that people are looking forward to the point that has greatly overshadowed the entire card, including a yet-to-be-known main event. And I don't know any of the rules. I think they're fighting for 8 rounds because I think that's what Logan fought Floyd at. But I also think he did that for 2-minute rounds. And somebody else told me that I remembered that wrong. And that was Tyson versus Jones at the 2-minute round. These guys are going to go 3-minute rounds. But my point is larger and isn't to ask you guys what the rules are. My point is much greater that I can't remember any kind of combat with this level of magnitude and anticipation that didn't have to do with who's orthodox and who's a southpaw. Who's been training? How many miles does this guy run? And what's your experience? What's your record? How'd you do in the amateurs? I can't remember ever a time that was like this, and I'm completely fine with it. I just want the match to happen. Whoever the main event is probably going to reap all the rewards and not feel that they have any kind of an obligation to thank Dillon or pitch in on all the stuff that he's going through or bend the ear of Logan Paul and say, hey, don't do that lawsuit business. Like, they probably just think that the crowd and the numbers that this business does has to do with them. Fighters are delusional. They're also notoriously bad people.